Hello. Welcome. Uh, Only announcement I have is in 2 weeks, on the 30th, we record the second episode of From Ash and Earth. That's all I want to talk. That's all I got, because it's going to be cool. Yeah, so watch that on the 1st of May when it comes out. Kate, what do you got? You usually have something you want to yell at people.
There's my yell.
Yep.
It was more of a squeal. Check out my Redbubble shop, link in the description, for the brand new, just released last week, Lunartics party logo in 2 colors.
Woo.
We got purple text, and we got white text. Pick which one your favorite. Some designs look better on other background colors. So I was like, make both of them available. And so they are. Go check it out. Pick your favorite.
Yay!
Yeah.
Do it or else.
Yep, do it or else.
I mean, do it or else enjoy the rest of your night.
No.
I guess.
No.
This is a threat.
I'm doxing everybody.
Lex is going to come to anybody's house who doesn't do this.
Yeah. Everybody who puts it in your cart, you're safe. If you don't, watch it.
If they just put it in their cart, nothing happens.
I'm not scared. I'm not scared of Lex.
Well.
Anyways.
Yeah, you should be.
Last we left off.
You should be.
I should be. But I've seen how scared Lex gets of nearly everything I do, and it's really fun. Last we left off. You uncovered some truths from the brain you interrogated, the Vanguard's council, and even parts of the Vanguard itself had been compromised by the Dominion. And if word got out that you had survived your little mission at the manor, they'd paint you as traitors and secret Dominion loyalists. Carver was among those working against you, and that your investigation into the manor was meant to lead to your deaths. The brain explained that Lady Matrigan and Wormwood had fled the Vanguard as they were to be killed as well and labeled Dominion loyalists. In the process of destroying the brain, the manor and lab were also destroyed, but you all managed, with some very good rolls, saved every captive within and escaped. And with the help of stabled horses, they all fled to the safety of Engaladon. That is, the captives and the foreman. As you made your way through the woods to figure out what to do next, you encountered a mischievous sprite named Spittle, who seemed to be an old acquaintance of Crearyn's, who had been spying on the group and also served the enigma known as Matrigan. Spittle led you to her domain, where you found shelter, rest, food, and time to tend to your wounds. While there, Matrigan revealed the truth behind Thalassirian's origins. She was not, in fact, this beautiful elvish woman, but perhaps this horrific-looking hag woman, and that she had created the Rime King and other entities to protect this world. The other entities she named were the siblings of Thalassirian, naming Serendor the Silent Wolf, who you had met a few days prior, as well as someone called Umbroxis, who seems to be tied to Tero, and that these were guardians of the world that she had created. But it was the faith of the people, unwavering and immense, that corrupted Thalassirian the Rime King and twisted him with power, creating the current tyrant this continent is sort of threatened by. Eventually, you all retired to an abandoned adamantine tower covered in paintings of dicks, hidden in the depths of Matrigan's domain, to rest and recover, gaining the benefits of a long rest, and after having played a game of Oyster Bowl to win a strange magical doorknob, which was given to Scooch for winning Oyster Bowl.
Can't believe I missed that.
Which decimated everybody. So, you all awake, having gained the benefits of a long rest, and you're all jolted awake by a loud, frantic screaming just outside the windows. As you all look out of your shared room, you catch a clear view of a massive tree that wasn't there the night before. Its gnarled trunk pressed right up against the tower, A twisted face bulges from the bark, howling in agony through the windows, until, without warning, it lets out a long and falls into a deep, rumbling snore. Samira, resting on the foot of your bed is a polar bear rug and Sumaji's alchemy set, previously locked away within his chambers within the Vanguard. Long rest.
There's also a mammoth tusk and a dragon's tooth.
What are the odds that Sumaji's things were here before we had the long rest?
They were not.
They weren't? Okay. I think she takes the rug and just kind of like wraps it around her for a minute, trying to like regain the feeling of Sumaji hugging her.
Yeah.
But it doesn't smell like him because he only carried it for a couple days. And
that's the
it doesn't
weird
have that same
thing.
warmth.
That's the weird thing.
Oh.
It strangely smells like him.
Sumaji, what did you do with this rug?
I peed on it. I was
No!
Peed on it.
I was like it. What do you think I did?
He wasn't house
God
trained.
damn it.
Yeah, Smargy wasn't house
I
trained.
wasn't house trained at that point.
That's funny. Yeah, so she like just wraps herself in this rug for a couple minutes before joining everyone else.
Okay.
She does pack the alchemy set to take with her.
It is all a shared room that you're all in. It's like at the very top of the tower, just where a bunch of these cots have been like stuffed in. And the cots are not a matching set of beds. They're all different beds from like different styles of like furniture or like architecture, that kind of thing. Like someone just threw a bunch of random beds together.
I will.
One is like a 4-poster queen-size bed, and the others are like small twin-size beds and other ranges. One is just a hammock.
You said it's an alchemy kit?
Yes. It would be alchemy supplies or alchemist kit, whatever the actual item is called. I think it's called alchemist supplies.
Alchemist supplies.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'll also take the tusk and the tooth.
Yep.
What kind of tusk was it?
Mammoth tusk.
Thank you.
Big one.
It's it's massive.
Never mind, I'm not taking the mammoth tusk.
It was
I will
as
take
big
the
as like
dragon tooth.
Samaji. Like he had it strapped to his back like a big bow, effectively.
I will leave the mammoth tusk behind, but I'll take the dragon tooth.
Okay. Cool.
Abe goes through his usual rituals of updating the paint on his body.
Right.
And you see...
I'm just going to watch with interest at this.
You see a new one pop up that looks like he paints on another patch inside of his on his pants. He just paints another patch on it.
Okay.
Does he use the blue?
He used the blue for the mystic vibe he did. But that was like to get that kind of like steel, like the bluish steel type look. For like the joints and everything that he did for the construct thing. For this one, I think he's using. God, I forgot my my thing, but it's primarily red. But you don't see the red on the patch. The patch just looks like it's a part of his pants.
We haven't long rest since leveled up. This was the first long rest since we leveled up,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. DM, catch me if you want to swap it or whatever. But
Yeah.
Crearyn's gonna take some of that. They're not gonna do this in house. Can they make their way outside?
Yeah, why
Is that
not?
possible?
Yeah.
Yeah. Leave in the armor for right now. Not carrying that, but gonna grab the rest of their supplies and the spear,
Mhm.
and gonna take some of that powder, that residual ground up stuff.
Yeah, the stuff that you're making people
Oh.
disappear with.
Yeah, the refined black powder.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna like take a little bit in their fingers, and it's gonna like slowly begin to trace along the flat edge, the bladed edge of the spear, trying, and is going to effectively infuse whatever this shit does, and wherever it takes them. This is just a fun way to do the Hex Warrior, so
Yeah.
effectively making the spear my hex weapon.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, it's like the dust kind of like is spread along. It stretches out like wisps, like shadowy tendrils, like wisps that kind of just branch outwards. Like they're feeling the surroundings. Kind of like how a snake's, or is this snake's tongue? Yeah, kind of like how a snake's tongue like feels and tastes the air to kind of get a sense of like what's going on. That's kind of what these tendrils are doing. They're feeling the air before they retract into the weapon, and they give the weapon a shadowy black gloss everywhere across it.
They'll test the blade because iron and fey, they effectively use weapons that would be detrimental to themselves. Not really getting that odd sensation, as I imagine the shadow has created like a little bit of a film to it. It's just
No, they've just changed
Okay.
the appearance of the weapon to be just
okay.
jet
So,
black,
yeah.
basically. Like
Will
you
recoil a
know
bit
that you know
then.
that you know. Have you ever seen the pictures of that one substance that's the blackest thing in existence?
Yeah.
And it's like,
oh yeah.
it's like weird to look at because it's just so dark. That's
Yeah,
kind
it's
of
like okay.
that's kind
Oh,
of
that's
what your
cool.
spear looks like now. It's just like the complete absence of color. The metal doesn't catch any gleam from it.
That's really interesting.
Like
Okay.
light doesn't reflect off of it. It's just like you're holding a shadow.
Good to know.
And as you do this, I'm gonna say some of the vegetation around you seems to retract and retreat a little bit. Not a lot where it's like super noticeable, but like tiny little movements. Like a tree, maybe its branches move a little differently, or like some flowers shift where they were sitting around you. The grass blades almost part around you. Like the very nature here is avoiding whatever that was.
Yeah, does Crearyn get the sense that it's because of where they are, or is it just the natural world feels like it's recoiling away?
Bit of both.
Okay. We may have to talk later because of Crearyn's oath is specifically to
Yeah.
something, if they're embracing something that is counterproductive to that. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. They'll take note of that, but
Yeah.
we
might have to talk.
It gives the spear like one of those over the like wrists as they're walking, kind of like testing to see if the weight's good.
It feels lighter than before.
Okay, yeah, there's probably a couple times where Crearyn like overshoots the roll of the wrist or like the roll of the palm and has to counter. And so yeah, Crearyn will spend this
I
morning.
need to write this down.
Yeah, we'll spend the morning effectively readjusting their movements with the spear. Also with the Uh-oh.
With Crearyn gone, I wanna like pull a and Tero aside.
Mm-hmm.
So just to let you guys know before it gets out of hand and y'all don't get blindsided. I was and they encouraged me to explore the connection between me and the Rime Lord. And I may have seen either a premonition or an actual, like, look into a secret place where there were.
What do you mean? Like seeing them, like as at the time, what they were doing at that moment?
I couldn't tell because from my perspective, what I was seeing, I was also there. I think it's hard to describe.
Right.
There were like dozens of me's and dozens of sumajis all in one giant room.
Right.
In like test tubes and such.
Hmm. Yeah, that blood is tricky business. I ate one blue blood brain, and it had a nasty like swing back, like a backlash. So I don't think you should explore that.
I mean, I don't know if I can anymore after what we just did.
Oh yeah.
I certainly don't want to find out if I am still able to, but
But they said that the brain said that the mind connection will be gone, but the blood connection remains.
Mhm.
So that it seems like that's tricky. It's pretty sticky.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Blood's not really what I'm used to. Right? I mean, comparatively to the mind, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think, Scooch?
Sounds like you got a bridge over a Russian river. You can either blow that bridge up if you're afraid of the water, or you can walk across it and see what's on the other side.
I don't know if I want to know what's on the other side, but I'm too scared to blow it up.
Well, it seems about the two choices.
Yeah,
Well, we can burn that bridge when we come to it.
Sure.
Yeah, but right, if you leave it open, like a bridge, someone else can come the other way. Potentially, we don't know.
Yeah, so if you never want to cross it, man, maybe just destroy it, because I feel like
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
it's
feel
fucking
like
hard to fight on a bridge. You ever fight on a bridge? It's so hard.
Yeah.
no. I fought in a pass though once. Not fun.
You fought in the past?
No, in a pass. Like a mountain pass.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I thought you
Yeah,
said
yeah,
Yeah.
you said you
Typical
fought in the
ambush
past.
point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Us smugglers avoid them pretty
The only
regularly.
problem I have with, cutting off the connection is that it seems the only for sure way we know as of right now is permanent and irreversible.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much the only way to blow up the bridge is for Samira to die. So, yeah, bridge stays.
For now, yeah.
Right.
Is there a way to like maybe block like an extra mental barrier or something? Maybe just for
I mean, I don't think what I got would actually help. I feel like if I made you appear to be, Samira Mark 1, that would be... I think they might see through that. Because
maybe.
At least I'm thinking, if you are like magically a construct, then you wouldn't have blood.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really know that much about constructs and what they're made out of. Mostly from what I've seen from Scooch, it's been what? Well, wood, metal.
Yeah, it's been metal, man. It's mostly metal, a little bit of leather, you know.
Yeah. So some animal products then.
Well, I mean, like, as much as, dead body is still a body, about as much as leather is an animal product.
Right. Yeah, that's my only guess. We can give it a shot when we feel this danger. It lasts 24
Yeah.
hours, so...
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah, right now, I am still Abraham. I am Abraham 1.0.
All right, Abe 1.0.
That's right.
I guess technically I'd be Samira 2.0 at that point. Maybe even
that's-
3.
That's right, I'll have to keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm Tero 1.0.
Would you like a second version of Tero?
Sort of just smiles and doesn't answer.
Right, so why
Go
we,
get- Hmm?
we mentioned in this because you think Crearyn has maybe nefarious intentions, or what? I mean, they kind of put us on this path, so either they got nefarious intentions, or maybe
Well,
they're just not wise. Or maybe
I
they
may
are
not-
wise and we don't know it. I mean,
Well, they
I
did
might
say
have,
they didn't trust the Vanguard anyways. They were just masquerading as a agent of theirs.
yeah, but I'm mentioning, suggesting to Samira that they dig into the blood connection.
Well, how would they know
I
if
might
that
have
would have...
exaggerated.
Fine,
I might
fine.
have exaggerated that bit. It might have been a mutual curiosity
Samira.
more than anything.
Are you digging up drama right now? Are you little drama queen? Is that what I'm seeing?
Abe,
Is that
you've
what
known
I'm
me
hearing?
for a week and a half. What do you think?
Ah. Right. Well played.
Hey, did I get you? Did I persuade you?
Oh,
Did I persuade you? Were you
What, no?
convinced?
no, you got me
You were you
skeptical,
sounded
more
convinced.
skeptical than I was of Crearyn.
You sounded pretty
For no
convinced of what I was
reason.
saying. You believed me until I came clean.
You're despicable. You are. You're the
You
worst.
just hate me because I'm right. I'm the best.
You're the worst.
And I'm gonna go downstairs to join up with Crearyn and see what's going on outside.
They're just kind of practicing with
Can-
they're just
I-
playing with their spear.
Very happy that I got Abe convinced. That I convinced Abe of this thing. Yeah, and I'm gonna go join Crearyn downstairs.
Okay, they're
Outside.
they'd be outside the tower.
What you doing? You're muted.
Yeah, we can't hear your mic. Yeah.
Oh, Crearyn wasn't talking. They were turned away. No, Crearyn's gonna kind of like get a stretch as they have sweat on their face and kind of like hold their arms over the spear that runs across their shoulders. Just keeping myself loose and limber and ready for a fight. Why are you so chipper?
Nothing. Just finally followed through on a bet Abe and I made a couple days ago.
What was that?
I couldn't persuade him to do something, and I just did.
Interesting.
Just convincing him that I have charismatic skills is all.
I don't know if they call it a skill if you have to convince somebody that you have it, but sure. A win is a win.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's up?
The sun, for once, this early in the day.
You look up and there's like 8 suns.
Take your pick.
I like the red one.
Have you ever been to a place like this?
No. Honestly, before a couple weeks ago, I'd never been past the mountain range to the west.
Maybe in death you find purpose. Isn't that what they say?
If this is my purpose, I think I should have remained dead.
Well, some of the best tactics is to use what others assume can't be used. So you're the what? A little piece of a puzzle that maybe the Rime Lord wasn't expecting to.
An extra piece in the box.
Yeah, it throws the whole thing for a loop.
I don't know.
Have you not thought about it?
I don't sleep. I've done nothing but think about this pretty much since Sumaji died.
My office still stands if you miss him.
No. Not in a million years.
You say that, but some people sometimes will forget the face, the voice.
If there's a time that I ask you to look like my brother, I want you to slap me across the face. Genuinely.
It's counterproductive, but sure. So, what are the others up to? Are they sleeping in?
They're getting their stuff together, I guess.
Right.
We had a
Dude, can
little
you
chit chat.
Scooch,
Sorry.
Can you believe Samira? That we're supposed to be trusting. She's sabotaging it on purpose.
Yeah, you got, bro. That's on you.
Right, yeah. What a pot stir.
Yeah, man, you got, man. That's it's on you. You can't get mad at someone else because you let yourself get got. You're getting soft, bro.
Yeah.
You're hard as hell when I met you. I feel like you're you gotta stir a pot. You gotta cause some shit because I feel like, yeah, man. You came in talking mad shit and now you're letting yourself get got.
Huge. My comfort zone are the cities. That's where I can paint. It's where I can, Skulldug. There's in place like this. There's always some smuggling group in the city that we can stay at. You know, they got safe houses.
Y'all did it in groups?
What do you mean? Not too big. Usually you need at least one or two others to smuggle with you, depending on the size of the shipment.
My eyes did it with a fence.
What do you mean? Oh, fence. What do you mean?
You find a fence and they'll sell what you got. So
Right. Well, this.
I mean, I can
The
see the
smugglers-
positive. I can see the positive from having a network. I just
Yeah.
never found a network. I usually find someone who, you know.
Yeah. The smugglers that I know, they see what a city wants, not all the time what they need, but you gotta make profit. And you find a way to get into the city. So finding a fence doesn't really suit the purposes of what we'd be trying to do.
Listen,
But-
you find someone with a an elastic strap, you know, or like a real jerry-rigged waistband belt on their pants. They're gonna be clued into what the city actually needs. And listen, I got real good at finding out what they need and then getting it to a person who can make it happen. Like,
What do you
know,
mean? Oh, I'm not putting this together. Call it early morning dizziness.
Listen, if you're trying to hook up at a bar, you know, you look for someone who's, you know, looking a little desperate. Maybe they got like makeup tear streaks. You know, they got a tanned band where their ring used to be. Someone who's looking to hook up. Same goes for if you're trying to sell goods. Look at someone whose
Right.
pants are a little threadbare.
Yeah.
Looking at someone who knows how to live a little lighter, and maybe they're going to be someone who's got a little extra coin, and they're the ones who are going to be able to fence. So you just, you know, walk in there and you say, "Hey, what you need? You need," and then they end up going, "Oh," and they go, "Oh man, you know, Bob's always the one," and you go, "Bob, got it. Find Bob." Work your way up a food chain. I don't know about this. I don't know about this network you have, but I find a fence and I hop it.
Yeah. Well, I'm open to the idea if we find anything to sell. Right now, I mean, I kind of we'll see if they ask for any favors for, you know, us being facilitated.
Yeah.
But it's a good gig.
What, smuggling?
Yeah, it's not bad. Plus, you get to stick it to the man.
No, sure. As long as you don't get too soft.
That's right. Keep me hard. Wait, that came out wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
That's a weird thing to say, Abe. That's a
Yeah,
weird thing to say,
that-
but I appreciate you.
Yeah, it was too weird.
Yeah,
Alright.
It's a little. You know what? I get it. Get
Right,
caught.
let's figure out what we're doing today. I mean, I feel like,
Yeah, let's go get hard. And he walks
yeah, let's get hard.
away. Walks away. Towards the group.
All right, you all make your way outside the tower.
When Abraham
Abe's
leaves,
trying to get hard, everybody. Abe's trying to get hard.
the hard boys
Well-
have arrived.
Abe's trying to what?
Time
Said
for
he's
me to
hard
get to
boys.
work.
Get
The
hard.
hard boys have arrived.
Good for you, I guess. Happy you found someone? It's not Matrigan, is it?
Yeah, don't be boring with it.
You gonna tell us who it is or not?
No, there's no one. It's just an inside joke between me and Scooch.
I said Scooch.
I ship it.
Yeah,
Interesting.
like what I said, the hard boys have arrived.
Mm-hmm.
A brooch.
They sure have.
A brooch.
Scooch.
Scubraham.
I like
Scubraham.
Scuberham.
Don't make this weird, guys.
Yeah, I would prefer to avoid this
Yeah,
considering your
absolutely.
brothers. Okay.
Who
The bid is done.
who
Okay.
has ideas of where to
Don't make us
go?
get White Lotus on you fuckers. Do that.
No.
Ugh.
Skip it.
Anyways, you all gather outside of the tower.
My God.
Yeah, you all gather outside of the adamantine tower guest house. Yeah.
What is that? Matrigan. We got. I
Maybe we should come up with an idea before we present it to her. We have ideas of where we want to go.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about going to Erinos because it's, what they wouldn't expect. Because how would any normal person get across the mountains?
Climbing.
Yeah, with our feet.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With
I
those
mean,
hard
we
muscles to use.
Yeah. But I mean, we could do that, or do something really out of the way, and just put more distance between us and the Vanguard, because I got a feeling they're gonna send some goons after us, or Carver specifically.
I wouldn't
Face
put it
off
past
against
him.
Carver.
So, I mean, getting as much space between us and them seems a bit like a breather. We can. I mean, we're essentially staying low without having to stay low. We can still stay active. We're just in a different part of the, continent.
We could try to go to the Veil. Says we could lay low for a bit.
Oh, the Veiled Pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I couldn't see a Veiled City. What, you got
Yeah,
some
it's
connections
the
in
province
the
of
past?
Veld.
Oh.
Well,
Oh,
my dad's
right,
back
yeah,
there.
I see it on
Yeah.
the map.
Yeah. And Scooch mentioned you're from Chalice Reach.
Yeah, from Chalice Reach,
So what's our motivation? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, we don't. I'm not, particularly eager to get home anyway. I just want to make sure, if we gotta fuck with the gate, we gotta fuck with the gate. But it ain't gonna be fun.
I mean, I'd like to at least tell my dad in person about G at some point.
Well, listen, at least I think as a smuggler, ports are the key to resources. And if you want to, how do we say, do any sabotage, maybe starting at a port would be ideal. Like, I'm looking at this dark water port, and I think we could run, the entire province of Veld from the bottom up. Figuratively
so?
and
okay.
literally.
We have big goals and big ambitions, but we are very small.
Yeah,
So
that's,
we need to find
that's
out. I applaud your perspective, but what is our end? We need to have a
I think Baby is suggesting we could become pirates.
Hey, by the way, no more
I don't
code
think-
names.
You don't want to be known as Bad Brain anymore?
Well, the Vanguard knows our code names anyway.
True.
Okay,
Should we get new ones?
this is the way. Oh, let's focus in because yes. So let's start from the very top. Our big goal What is everybody's grand ambition?
To
being
kill
together?
Baron, Philem, and Uthred in Volkill.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
that
we
is
did
not a
talk
grand
about
goal.
that.
That is a spoke in a wheel. Grand
Well,
goal, big umbrella.
He's a powerful figure in the Dominion. He's the one responsible for
Yeah.
all the experiments at the manor.
And I will be partial
Okay,
to go into
let's
Roadkill.
expand beyond that. Big
Right.
goal. Do we all want to get rid of the Rime Lord?
It is to overthrow the Rime Lord.
Okay, there we go. There's our point, right?
Yeah.
Now, to do that, we were essentially going to be working with the Vanguard. The idea was that they were a nice counterpoint or counterweight to that. We've learned that is not the case.
Yeah, it's a network.
So now we are effectively working alone.
Yeah.
Well, what about Lady M?
Matrigan also suggested we seek out Seren or the Silent Wolf, which we've already done and spoken to him.
Which we did,
Yeah.
correct. So
Yeah.
we have one ally.
We got him on.
One group
Yeah,
of
yeah.
allies. Right. We have
And
Lady
Lady M.
Matrigan. Uh-huh. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Now what? We just start fucking shit up?
Well, my moms are two very powerful soldiers in their respective realms.
Okay. Can you get them here?
Well,
One of them
Mother
already
already
used
used
that
her
free pass.
visit this plane free card this year, but maybe I can get Mama.
Okay. We
Yeah,
have a tentative one of your moms. Great. That's
Yeah.
count
No, no.
them.
I think I said yesterday that we have to start from the bottom up. We have to.
But
We
we
have to
have
have some
grand
counter propagandizing.
I get that, but we have grand ideas of what to do, but we are very small.
Yeah, that's
We are a group of maybe 6.
yeah. Well,
5.
how do you start? You got to move. You got to move your legs.
I think what I mean, Crearyn, if I may, I feel like
Sure.
one of maybe one of your gifts is not eloquating. I would say
Uh-huh.
you need to kick it to someone who, and he fixes up his pants, knows how to vocally gesticulate to the people.
I saw that on Lady Matrigan's calendar. That's the word of the day. Good job.
Thank you.
A couple little like flowers bloom in Scooch's feathers.
Starts like kind of hopping around. Now I think, Crearyn, I think, if I may, I think that what you are saying is that we need people. Nay, I say we need the people. We need
Oh, no.
many people. And what you're saying right now is that we are a mighty few and we need to become
Oh,
a
no.
mighty many. Many people in a flock become the flock.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is we need a bunch of people gathering. We need a purpose because a finger can be broken. Even a couple fingers can be broken, but when they curl into a mighty fist, they can punch the shit out of all sorts of, I'll get the word. Hold on. Fuck off.
Uh-huh.
Give me one
No,
second.
we're here. Everybody take a minute. Take a breather.
Corruption. Yeah, corruption. Just punch that corruption right in its, gristly old face. And
Abraham
then
leans over to Samira and says, "That's a corruption. That's a good word."
Yeah. And so what I'm saying, so it seems like what you're saying, Crearyn, is that we need to recruit. We need to evangelize. We need people to believe in our cause.
There it
We
is.
need-
Amen.
There it is.
That's what we need. We need a bunch of
Tero just
we
starts
need-
like shaking.
Yeah, leave it to Scooch to listen. I think we've been saying the same thing.
We
Absolutely.
haven't. We have not.
How?
Because you want to create chaos.
No.
You want to go fuck up a port.
Well, yeah.
No, we
That's
want to
chaos.
take over the
That's
port.
not all chaos.
That is a heavy-handed amount of chaos.
All right, you
have-
know what? I'm gonna
you
be
have-
a
we
bridge.
need
You know
to-
what? I'm gonna declare myself a bridge in communication. I'm right now. What I think what we're saying is the same thing in a different way.
Sure.
Abe, if I may, it sounds
Yeah.
like you're saying you want to destabilize.
Yeah, but
And
also
Crearyn, it sounds like what you're wanting to say is that we can't just leave things all loosey goosey. So what if we replace. We find a way to put people in who know the score, know what we're about, and then it's sort of a one in, one out situation. Like, we don't leave a town with no mayor, but someone who steps in as the mayor is someone who's also like, ooh, the Rime Lord can suck a fat one. Am I getting close?
Yes.
Does this feel warm? Abe, does it feel warmer, better, closer to you?
Yeah. I mean, look. And he
Yeah.
pulls out his book and he's got like sketches of like some of the people in the party. He's got some of the sketches of some of the people in the Vanguard. He's got a very heroic posed Sumaji. Like, look at this. Imagine these on like billboarded across buildings as ways of telling a story to sway the minds of the people to truth.
But we have to be tentative of which way we sway them. Because right now...
Yeah, of course we do. I don't know. You're saying that I'm not gonna. Like, or that I'm not gonna try to do that.
Abe, ever since meeting you, your whole driven and drive and push has always been to just fuck over the Vanguard or the Dominion.
And I think actually, Crearyn, again, I'm so sorry. I feel like what's
If you have better insight, please.
I do. I've
Sure.
got fantastic insight, and Abe, I think I know what you're saying, and I'm so sorry, guys. I feel like I might be the pivot in this, verbal orgy, and I'm so sorry to be so graphic with my description, but I do think what's happening is that you guys aren't connecting correctly, because what I think is that I think you're seeing Abe, the man. Abe, I'm not throwing you under the bus because I love your crazy shit. I love when you just come in and fuck shit up. But what I'm saying is, Crearyn, you're coming in and judging the man. And you don't know Abe the symbol. You don't know what he's doing as a symbol. He's so much greater as an idea, as a concept. He's coming in and helping. That's where I'm coming in with the destabilization. And you're coming in with the other half of it, which is something has to be there. Because there's no such thing as losing energy. It just has to transfer. So Abe is the negative part of the energy, and you can come in and help create the positive part of the energy. So what I'm saying is if we work our mojo together, we create a whole system. And Abe has all sorts of ideas, painting a picture across the nation to help people understand. That's the best idea I ever heard. And then you coming in and helping people lift that up, that's an amazing idea too. Holy shit. Guys, I see the schematic for how we're going to make this better, how we're going to absolutely throat punch the Rime Lord.
As well as the Vanguard now.
And the Vanguards are absolutely just a bag of turds.
They're basically one and the same at this point to us.
Right.
Look, the whole point that I was trying to make is I understand where you're coming from. I get it. We want to push for this revolution.
Mm-hmm.
I 100% agree, but there has to be tact with it. And the way that things have been going with us, and with you specifically, lacks that.
All right. Well, I think
You're so shallow.
How am I shallow? You blew up a whole city.
No,
hold on.
You are assuming the worst of everything. I gave you the time of day, and then you just yo-yoing with me.
I'm not
Like-
yo-yoing with you.
Yeah. We start off with us being like really skeptical of you
Sure.
and all that stuff, and then the moment we give you the time of day, all of a sudden you're picking us apart. Like, that's
Yeah,
I'm not gonna yo-yo with you.
as an unbiased outsider that is viewing the ways that you've been operating so far.
no one's unbiased.
I am 100% unbiased.
Anybody who says that is a liar.
Okay, then paint me a liar. Roll an insight check. Figure it out.
What's this insight check you're talking about?
It's whenever you
No, I
read
get
somebody's
it.
body
Listen.
language.
Listen. I get
What
it.
what
Your
I'm
eyes
actively trying
roll
to say
up and
is
down.
that typically
Inside. Your eyes roll up and down.
right.
Inside.
Look at the The movements that have been made surrounding this group so far have been very, very impactful. Not saying they haven't been, but they have been very, very noticeable in the ways that they are not subtle. They have not been subtle. Is it all of your faults? No, but you were all there. It's going to be associated that it was your fault or that you were tied to it to some way, because in reality, you were. So, my point here is whenever we begin to do these movements and these machinations, we need to take that into account. Not everything needs to be a grand gesture. Not everything needs to be blown into a major proportion, because that scares people who are already scared.
Yeah, and I think that's actually where you're not understanding Abe. If I may, again, Abe, I'm sorry. I feel like I'm talking too much, but I'm still going to follow this instinct. Abe's not going to, like, go in and, like, with a paintbrush, like, draw a bunch of dicks on people's foreheads. Like, that's not what he's going to do. No, he's going to put things in the zeitgeist. Do you know this word, zeitgeist? You familiar?
Sure.
It means kind of group think among everybody. Like, you know, kind of we're all thinking the same shit. Like, so point is all of a sudden, you know, maybe there's like an ugly moon. People are like, oh, moon's kind of, man, moon is that is an unfuckable moon. All of a sudden, everybody thinks
it's a bad omen.
Everybody thinks, you know, third choice at the bar, that's going to be the moon. It's the kind of shit Abe does. He's not going to sit there and be like, oh, hey, just drawing exactly what you think. Abe's going to subtly bend the will of the people in the direction that we need it. And that's all I'm saying. That's Abe's. That's his gift. And I feel like you are coming a little hot. Coming a little hot at my guy Abe.
Not just Abe. He's just the one vocalizing things. This was a.
He does. He's a talker. He's got
right.
opinions.
And so it feels like maybe I'm going for Abe more because no one else is talking besides you. This was
Who, me? I mean, I am the keeper of the door.
This was a criticism on the group as a whole.
Well, I gotta ask though. If you're really not into the whole group, why are you here?
Not saying that I'm not part of the group or not into the group. What I'm saying is
mentality.
What I'm saying is that
management mentality.
The group needs to
Abe said
have
that specifically to everyone else except Crearyn.
That is perfectly fine. The group needs to have some direction.
I gotta ask, and I mean this with no enmity at all. Is that where you'd like to get in and fit in? Is you want to be kind of the?
No, no. Y'all are the talkers. Y'all are the movers. I'm here for the meat and potatoes. I'm here to be able to defend if needed, and to be a bulwark if needed as well. And attack if needed.
If I could interject for a couple minutes. Crearyn, I know you haven't been following us since we all first got together, but effectively we have been in fight or flight since we met each other. We have not stopped for almost 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. This is the first time we've finally been able to catch our breath. Now, Neldwyn was a regrettable set of circumstances that probably could have been avoided had we had more information. I get that we were not subtle getting at a Neldwyn, and that is your one and only valid talking point when it comes to us being chaotic and noticeable. Rungar was a setup. It was already out of our control what happened there. Those people were gonna die anyway. Half the town was already replaced. What happened in the mines? A setup. What happened in the Vanguard? A long-term setup. We have been fighting for our lives. We lost a friend and a brother, and you dare come here to chastise us on not being subtle? When this is the first time since we've all been arrested in Volkill that we could breathe and sit down and actually talk about what we want.
So this is, and I will interject, this is where you confuse my intent here. I'm not chastising you. That is just the tone of my voice. If I could change it, I would. but I can't. It's who I am. I said I was openly criticizing the way things are going, and I want to see the group. For us to succeed, we have to have a better plan than just going to a place and creating chaos. And though you call it, it's not chaos, it is. Going to a port and removing a potential whatever stronghold that may hold with exports and imports, whatever it may be, that's chaos. You
There's
shake
no
your head,
order
Abe.
without
How is it not
chaos.
chaotic? Please explain
Actually-
how that would not cause the people of this isle or this place to not feel even more scared.
Actually, sorry, I just gained a little insight into you, Crearyn, if I may, to the whole group. Kind of explain the very act of creating art, of creating, of putting pen to canvas, or paint to canvas, or pen to paper. The very creation of art is very violent and sometimes chaotic act itself. Trying to make change happen isn't gonna happen if we're quiet and careful and gentle. You have to be a little bit violent in the creation of change. Now, if you're saying we need to be a little more prudent and a little more strategic, there I will have to agree with you. But I'm saying, like, a tacit agreement with the current administration is just not something any of us really can abide. So, I'm sorry, I don't mean to speak for y'all, but if genteel interaction with the status quo is what you are suggesting, then I don't think that's anything any of us signed on for. However, I think if your aim is to educate in a more measured manner, then well, I think that's a place we can jump off of. But I think it's I think it is the tone of caution that seems to cock my ears and make me a little bit reticent to agree with your specific middle management style. And I apologize for a lack of vocabulary here, but it does seem to set us up to feel attacked in a way, because what we're trying to do is we're trying to change a nation. And if that is taking one spirit at a time, one changing one mind at a time, we want to change that mind. But I think the fact is, it's not going to happen unless we make bold and specific changes.
Alexander Hamilton to the Ehrenberg.
Yeah, I don't know if I saw that musical, but I think Samira's right.
All right.
But I hope
I will leave my middle management opinions to myself. But if
No,
we go
no,
and
no.
do listen. If we go and do these things and we have no direction, we are going to fail.
Okay, and you know what? And I appreciate.
And
I
baseline, the initial point that I was making is allies, people to add to this list. We have two individuals. One is a spirit wolf that is locked away beneath an altar. The other is a person who will not intervene in fate in such a direct manner. We need more. If we go to this port and we start fucking up this port, I'm using this as a baseline, we fuck up the port, what is the purpose? Are we
The-
trying to?
To get allies, to move people. That's the goal. The goal is the same. The goal is the same because one of the things that people are fearing is that no one else is thinking the same thing. Biggest point of fear is if you're hungry and you think no one else is hungry, you think you got to hold on to all your own shit tighter. But if you know everyone else is sharing and everyone else is grieving together, that's how you get a fucking army. So we need to make sure that people know they're not the only ones thinking, hey man, Ron King sucks. That's where Abe comes in. That's where he's the best. He has a way of making things so crystal clear. And if we can get every hungry person to know they can get food if they get rid of that shitbird, that's how we become mighty. We go from, one group to 2 groups to 5 groups to 10 groups to several dozen groups to hundreds.
Okay.
I think
Maybe
y'all are
I'll
saying
have
the
a-
same thing. Just
maybe I'll have a plan that I have not
I
been
think
able
that's
to wrap my head around, and that's okay.
that's also part of it. Is we don't much go for classical music in this group. We play a lot of jazz, baby.
All right. You pick a place.
You like
I'll be
jazz,
there.
Crearyn?
Not at all, but that's fine. I'll learn.
So, I suggested that Paul. Not to mess up the whole port. The suggestion to analyze what's coming in and screw up the supplies that aren't affecting the people but affecting the military, the ways of suppression. Right. So, and but I changed my mind, and because there was we had talked about it yesterday and I completely forgot, it's been a whole week, that we were going to just go to Volkill because to help with Tero's thing, and it makes a whole lot of sense because guess what, you mentioned we need to find allies, and it's like you're expecting us to pull them out of thin air without going somewhere. Like, I understand the need for a plan, but we're not going to get one if we don't go to the place first. Anyway,
Go to city. Make friends. Turn friends to cause. Build our numbers. Fuck shit up.
Repeat.
That's repeat? Ooh! Ooh! I like the repeat part. That's a 5-point plus plan. Crearyn, they come on now. That gets you a little hard. It gets people hard. It's getting everyone hard in the room. We can admit it.
I'll keep
We can
a
admit
steady,
we're a little hard. We can
I'll
admit
keep
we're a little
I'll
hard.
keep a steady malleability. How about that?
Get hard, Crearyn. I always operate at half-mast.
Please don't make that our catchphrase.
Get hard.
Get hard.
That can't be our catchphrase.
Lunatics, get hard.
The Lunartics,
That can't.
get hard.
I'm not making a sticker out of
Lunartics
that,
get
just
hard.
so you know. Gerhardt? Monsoza?
Get hard.
Right, so vocal it is then.
Plus, if we kill Dominion officials in higher power, it might show people that the Dominion aren't untouchable. And they might give them reasons to start to rebel.
Nothing makes people in power more fallible than when people see them bleed.
If it bleeds, you can kill it.
Wow.
Shit, did you just come up with that? That was fucking sick.
No, I read it in a book somewhere. It's not a Samira original. I'm sorry.
That's fucking sick. Might as well slap your name on it. That shit was sick.
I mean, if we're gonna be tipping over a dictatorship, may as well claim some credit.
Boom, boom. Abe, I got a question for you.
Shoot, Scooch.
As far as all my reading and my understanding, revolutions are generally, run and enacted by fallible people. But the best revolutions are the ones that have a symbol. Something that can't be corrupted.
That's right.
Something that is infallible. And I mean, shit, if you could cook one of those up, whew, I mean, I'm not too fancy. I do stick figures, But
Yeah, now that you say that,
yeah.
I was saving this page. I didn't show everyone. And he flips
shit.
to one of the pages, and it's just 3 Wolf Moon. Or, like, not the 3 Wolf Moon, but, like, however many. We got 5 people here.
Yeah.
five Wolf Moon.
What's 5 Wolf Moon?
I said, we. Right now, our only allies are. And they gave us totems of these wolves. Right? We all got a wolf totem in some form or another. And our name is the Lunartics. Listen, I'm not saying I've got the best ideas right now. I'm just saying I'm working on it. But thanks, Scooch.
You could do my wolf with a beak. That'd be sick. Maybe some wings. I don't know.
I think I could make it that work. It might look like a falcon or some type of eagle with its plumage. If it was if it was a beak, but
bringing up-
with wolf.
I'll try and be cool about this. You are bringing up inferior birds, and that's that's your own thing.
Right, because they can't swim. Right?
Birds ain't shit.
Yeah.
Oh, do you think I've never had a falcon look at me like I was a piece of shit? Fuck falcons. They can go suck an egg. You know what I'm saying? Fuck
You know
falcons.
what? Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck them. Right in their stupid ears.
I fucking hate falcons too.
That's what I'm saying.
Up in the branches, there's like a eagle-sized bald sparrow, but instead of feathers, it has quills.
Oh man.
So, without even looking, Scooch floats up, like jumps high, and then like kind of flaps wings and just does a no-look high five.
Yeah, it just hits you with its weird feather
Whoosh.
arm. Wing. That's what the birds have. Wings.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Fuck falcons.
Seymour, away! And the bird flies away.
You know what? I bet if we asked Seymour, he'd fucking join too. Boom. Nailed it. One more ally. I think the goal is get into the thick of it. We can theorize all we want, and I think oh, did not sleep enough last night. Oof. Could use a little more rest.
Yeah, it's a bit.
But I'm saying, in theory, we could do a lot of shit. But in practice, I think we just gotta go do it.
Yeah. Listen, I gotta use the bathroom.
But
All I heard was
I'll
like
meet everyone wherever they end up. All right, I'll just have a look at that. Thanks, Scooch.
Hey man, I'm just listen. I've been looking up how to make friends and allies. I've been looking into it, because I look at schematics all day, and recently I looked it up and I just been trying to be better at be a little better at talking. That's all.
It shows. And then Abraham broadcasts in his 120-foot rage.
Oh, where's a bathroom in this place?
Who's close enough to respond? Who's close enough to respond? Yeah. This person made of moss kind of just erupts from the ground.
Oh,
You wish to use the bathrooms?
yes.
The communal bathrooms or the private bathrooms?
Private, please.
This way. And he just leads you deeper into the jungle to this outdoor kind of collection of stumps that have been turned into toilets and urinals, and they're surrounded by a root wall and turned into cubicles and stuff. Whatever you desire shall manifest. And they just sink into the ground.
He thinks of, just a regular John, like a regular toilet. Then opens it up, sits down, and holds his ring, and says, Chuck, you were right. I mean, not completely. You got some good action, but you're right. Chuck. Dad. What's going on?
I'm listening.
What do you think of the plan?
I think it's a bit shit, but I'm not surprised.
No. Hey, how about what's your input? What do you think we should do? I mean, you a smuggler. And we are heading to Volkill. It's like a smuggling hub.
I would imagine those down on their luck would be easy to motivate. I imagine the criminals that would be there would be easy to get on your side.
Can't work out back for that one. Actually, we have some leverage, maybe? But, yeah. Yeah, you're right. I hate that you're right. That's that.
And he leaves the outhouse.
Okay.
Looks for the group.
You can find them. The woods kind of manifest in a way to let you get back to them without getting lost. Like I said, this place seems to adapt to what people desire.
Oi, Runkers. Man, this place is weird.
Yeah,
So,
so thing. I was hanging out, and I was thinking, man, I could use a dip, and then all of a sudden there was this little dish of severed fish heads shoved with. I'm not sure if it was tobacco or something. It's weird. I tried one.
As you're thinking about this, a portly kind of satyr wanders out of the woods, wearing a hat made of fish and a jester-like outfit made of fish. He's covered in fish oil. He's like maybe 3 feet tall, real chubby. I have brought you some fish. I heard your wish.
Oh man, is this tobacco?
It is tobacco.
Oh dang, dude.
And he seems to like short circuit a little bit because he can't figure out what to rhyme with tobacco. A better form of mackerel.
Yeah, that's right. This one's got, that sweet, tingly feeling you get. Oh, man. This is awesome. Thank you. Do you have, y'all take money or tip or?
We don't take money here, so never fear. What we do take is promises and vows. But if you don't follow those vows, you might be turned into cows. And nearby you can kind of see a cow grazing that's definitely got the head of a person. But yeah, this chubby little satyr gives you some mackerel wrapped in tobacco leaves and then saunters away. When you said dip, I was going to have a bird bath manifest because that's what I thought you meant.
Absolutely. Guys, is it just me or was he like trying to solicit like some kind of tip but with like a promise or something?
Yeah, they'll do that to you here. Watch for your name.
Shit, keep calling me Blanche for now.
Might be wise. Alright, so we leave for Volkil.
Sounds good. Yes.
Alright.
That's what I'm into.
And our goal is to remove the Baron.
And unite the people, hopefully, in doing so. And
Yeah. I feel we got to feel the pulse of the city. Be there long enough to get a pulse of the city. Maybe get to Baron's patterns. Although, I think, oh my god, why am I think Tero,
hello.
I think Tero already did some of that, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So half the work's done for us. It's just a matter of setting up what happens afterward, right? Just like you said, Crearyn. Just gonna make a vacuum, gotta find something to fill it.
Pop it into place. Well,
Yeah.
Ideally,
We're gonna
somebody in
become
Volkil
the-
who the people respect already.
maybe that's something we should look on to before we remove the Baron as we try to set up. We will be riding on the coattail of a visit from the Rime Lord, so let's keep that in mind as well.
Right. He did his
Yeah.
speech there, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple
I
days
wonder-
ago.
Yeah, I
Be
wonder if they got
tentative
all-
with what you say.
Yeah. Well, if they got our pictures, we'll find out, right?
Vanguard knows us, so
Yeah.
Is it bad that I recently don't feel so bad accidentally killing those Vanguard agents from Neldwyn? Like, I don't feel as guilty.
Right, I don't think we killed them.
You
We killed-
You didn't kill
We
any
killed everyone
Vanguard
but
people.
the people that were.
we chased him down.
undercover.
Oh,
we
Yeah,
did.
you chased him down.
I don't
yeah.
feel bad for punching one of the
We
Vanguard.
bullied the shit
Right.
out of
Like,
him.
I definitely punched one
Just
of them.
as a reminder, the only people that have been confirmed as compromised are the Council and Carver.
Yeah.
The brain said not everybody in the Vanguard is compromised.
Yeah.
I do think people have a. I don't think the Vanguard's completely lost. We would just have to potentially worry about.
Convince.
That's kind
Trying
of
to
the
convince-
gist. That's the gist the brain gave you. It's not everybody in there is corrupted.
We need to.
Yeah.
We need to oust the corrupted ones.
Yeah. I
Oh.
mean, I think Tero's way ahead of us there. You got a hit list already, right?
Oh, I have many hit lists.
It is. Listen,
Some are in different languages.
I mean, Tero is the real workhorse in this group.
Tero's doing the real work.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Did you see how many worms I killed at the manor? Oh, so many.
You got the final shot on at least half.
Oh, all of them, mostly. You know.
When it comes to plans, removing people is half the work. Maybe not half. It's a good portion.
Oh, go make your case to Lady Matrigan to take us to Volkill.
So you make your way to Matrigan's treehouse.
Yeah, where they at?
Okay, make your way to Matrigan's treehouse. She is in the process of stepping out the front door. She's got her patchy dead squirrel hat on, and she's carrying like a massive handbag made of human skin. Oh, I was just out the door.
What you mean out the door?
Oh, I have business to attend to, people to see, people to charm.
Nice. Right, can you facilitate our arrival at Volkill?
Well, that would be interfering in way more ways than I'm allowed. I can leave you where I picked you up.
Alright, fine. That's gonna be a couple days then.
Of course. I don't want to send you to Volkill without the primary person here tied to their backstory. Now, would I?
Oh, right, yeah, good call. Yeah, I mean, sounds good to me. It was nice not being in the cold.
Oh, yes, it's quite warm here. Thankfully, the doorknob I gave to our fine feathered friend will allow you passage back here once a day, should you need the warmth and comfort of my loving embrace. And she drools a little bit. Kind of looks at Crearyn. As long as you all stop meddling in things you don't understand.
I mean,
You
no
wouldn't
promises.
want the Pale Widow to come for you early, would you?
I'm sorry, the who?
The Pale Widow.
Yeah, we heard of them. It's something to do with the Umbral Weft, right?
Of course, the Umbral Weft, where all the souls of the dead go to be rewoven back into new life. Oh, sometimes they whisper to me. I hear them. Hello? Are you there? Hello? Should you ever wish to speak to the dead, just let me know. I'm good at peeking through doorways. She looks back inside before she's leaving. Rattle, take very good care of my fourth husband. He may be new. But I like his books. I wish you all the best of luck. You may leave as soon as your wish. Just will a way out and you may leave. And she basically grabs just the air in front of her and stretches it open like she's goat-seeing reality. And just steps through it and closes it behind her.
Yes.
And it looks like she's stepping out into... What is she stepping out into? Yeah, she's dressed for more warmer weather, so her shawl, her like jungle shawl, isn't really on, but she's wearing like the Victorian era equivalent of like those like weird swimsuits that they wore in the Victorian era, like the black and white striped ones. But her dead squirrel hat, and she just pulls that open and she steps up to what looks like a vast and sprawling golden desert with oases in the distance and jungles. Ta ta! And then
Go on vacation.
as she heads to Silger and closes the rift behind her. And she said, just will yourself out and you can leave.
Right, see y'all there. Crearyn's gonna think of where they came from.
Where you came from.
No, what? Where Lady Matrigan picked them up.
Okay. A little doorway manifests in front of Crearyn.
Ooh, does it not have a handle or a doorknob?
It does.
Oh, okay. So we don't use the same doorknob.
No, the doorknob is to get in.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, I see,
yeah.
I see.
Okay.
Gonna walk out then. Into the cold.
Alright, as the door opens, the warmth that you're all in, the warmth most of you have never felt, is suddenly overtaken by blustery blizzard winds again as you step back into the shadow-touched wilds. And that's where we're going to go to break. And we'll be back in 10 minutes for travel. Goodbye.
Travel time.
You step out of Matrigan's domain back into the freezing, frigid winds of the shadow-touched wilds, the door vanishing behind you. The warmth of Matrigan's domain gone.
Can we go back? It's really cold out here now. It feels colder than before.
Yeah, it's because we let ourselves get soft.
Yeah.
Don't say it, Scooch. I know what you're gonna say.
Gotta get hard.
God damn it, Tero.
Tero pulls his arms inside his coat, sleeves loose and flapping in the wind.
Only smart ones. Crearyn's gonna kind of like shift their walk to where they're closer to Abe.
Okay.
I don't do this often. I never feel the need to, but I am sorry for what I said. I have a responsibility that I feel toward this mission. Probably heavier than, from my assumption, what y'all may feel. So with that comes with a bit of zealousness.
I mean, plus that we all got our own convictions, and they are quite strong.
Right, but my intention was never to judge or to... It was never to judge. I don't have a place to judge anybody, if I'm being quite honest. It was coming from a place of... I will keep my mouth closed and observe, because I don't feel like I've done that enough.
Well, before you do that, you mind sharing, like, what motivates you? Because you've been a bit wobbly on that one.
I am from a part of where we were that was distinctly shrouded in underhanded tactics, lies, deceit, beings who strove for power and on a pretty consistent vie of gaining the upper hand. For a while, I was an instrument that was utilized in that way. I'm very good at what I do. And I got bored. I got tired. Matrigan found me, plucked me from that place, and has since directed me to act as her hand. My convictions lie within removing individuals that I did not possess the power to remove back where I was. People of power who use people to their own advantages, their own whims.
Crearyn,
Yes.
Why'd you call me a coward when you did the same thing?
In what regards?
You just said you couldn't do anything about the place where you were.
That was stemmed from the fact that a bit of self-reflection there, I guess. I had the opportunity to go back and confront those who had put me in a box. I would. Maybe. I don't know. So
Well-
instead of doing that, I want to fix what we have going on up here.
I don't know about you, but since I've been up here, I've learned a lot. Like, I can feel that I'm building up to something. Whereas before it was stagnant, right? Because of all the oppression. And I think if there's still some oppression here, but my point is maybe through this like progression, how much we grow in this realm, maybe we can go back and change things. I wouldn't be surprised that it's actually tied to what's going on here. I mean, I saw another mind flayer here, one that I know. So either they escaped, or the Elder Brain has moved closer to the surface.
I equate me returning back to the place that I am from similarly to those who cannot control their drink returning to a tavern. It's not good for me to do that, and that is why I do not wish to do it. Yes, that makes me a coward. That's why I called you one. Will I ever admit that to the others? No. This is me finding common ground with you.
Yeah, no, I feel very appreciated.
I feel like I struck a chord when I mentioned that what you all have left in your wake has felt like unbridled chaos. From the outside perspective, it has seemed just as such. That's just what I want us to be mindful of, is the perception that we cause whenever we move to places.
Well, and just so you know, you were there last time.
It was.
Kaltoric Manor. blew up.
But I completely understand. I'm not judging or the potential circumstances of what led to this destruction. It is all about appearances. I am very good at appearances, and I understand how that can be. I just worry. Most I worry about is how we are perceived. If we want to create change, yes, there will be conflict. I do get that. But we have to be certain that the perception of that conflict is the way that we want it to be, not the way of others.
Yeah. I mean, some of that is. I mean, we're going to be competing with propaganda, so there are always going to be people on the other side. So it's all small victories, and I think you know that. I'm saying stuff we both know. I'm in agreement. Right. So I saw you eyeing me this morning. What was that about?
Maybe I have a crush on you.
Get out here. You see, come on.
You're interesting. I've seen Aarakocra. I've seen Tiefling. I've seen elves. Mind flayers are new. And what you do is has not lost intrigue.
Right. Well, I know I present as Mind Flayer,
Sure.
but there's still the Dark Elf boy in there.
Well, that's right. All are created.
Yeah. Very specific process.
Do you have any interest on returning?
As far as I understand, it's impossible. Which, I've made peace with that. I'm
It's
trying
impossible.
to enjoy it. I mean, it's still grim. But, I mean, I've been in this body now for probably going on 15 years. So,
Such a short-lived life.
right, well, I was 7 when I turned.
Well, there are items in this world that can change your form, so maybe you can live like that once again for just a brief bit. It does what I do. It does what I do, but less impressively.
Yeah.
Do you remember
I
what
don't
you
know
look
how I
like?
feel about that. I mean, it would be useful. I mean, I stand out, which not the best thing.
Something to think about. Part of what I like to do is create introspection in people, like with Samira, now you. I'll eventually get to Tero and Scooch.
Yeah, I think that's what initially bothered me about you, because it is, and I'm using harsh words here
Sure.
because I don't got the tact, but a kind of gentle manipulation, and the Elder Brain did some similar things. Would pretend he would play games with us, right? Like he would take one of us over and then pretend like we had our consciousness with others and try to get them to admit something that they wouldn't. Not in front of him. Them.
Can I tell you a secret?
Yeah.
If there's one thing to know about people like me. People of my kin. We don't truly have our own identity. Sure, what you see is something that I possess, it is mine, but I am but a blank slate. A bit of me is crafted and pulled and changed and shifted with each time that I take on a new visage, new person.
Well,
So my intention on understanding and to, as you call it, manipulate is a general understanding of what makes each of you tick. That is just deeply ingrained in who I am.
yeah. Yeah.
I'll stop if you don't think it's going to be productive.
What?
As much as you paint, Samira
No.
performs.
No, it's
Scooch
what?
builds, Tero kills. My hobby just seems to be drifting into the digging deeper.
The sad reality is, in a situation wherein we all kill, we're all gonna have to kill.
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta be smart about it. Tero, free spirit, love him. Good man. I mean, he's got a plan. That's the first part. A list is the first part of the plan. He's got a jump start. But
Is there anybody in particular that you want to see removed?
I don't. I
Who
kind
threw
of
you
kept to
into-
myself. When I was in Volkill, like I said, smuggler, did most of my work at night. You know, to obscure mind flayer features. So I didn't meet a whole lot of people outside of the occasional guard girls and the other smugglers.
How were you captured?
At night, after I made a drop, I tried painting a mural. It was it's a bit childish, but I was flashing out. It was captain of the guard giving a gobby to yeah, to the Rime Lord, but in dragon form, so it was like really
Oh. Some people may be into that kind of thing.
it was done in a way.
So the
where-
captain of the guard, maybe we should focus on that. Maybe that could be who you intend to remove. I think
Yeah.
we need to have purpose whenever these places that we'd go. Tero has the Baron, you can have the guard. Scooch, is there anybody in particular that you wish to see killed? Maybe someone who
Anybody He killed?
Yes.
the tax man.
Yeah, man. Just fucking people who are in power who don't need to be there, man.
Right, so if we go to Volkill, is there any particular person that you might be showing vested interest in removing outside of the Baron and the captain of the guard?
No, man. Just fucking maybe the head tax collector, man.
There we go. Head tax collector. That's 3.
Any bureaucrats, man? Like these people who are just getting up in other people's business, you know? Because I think people should just be able to, you know, govern themselves, really. Set people up with enough of the right tools, be able to do whatever they want.
And Samira, you aren't lost to us. Is there anybody that you wish to see killed? You're very good at doing it.
I'm good at killing people.
Sure.
Compared to who? Your mom?
I don't know my mother, but sure. I doubt
Oh.
she's killed anybody.
Then I guess I am good at killing people compared to your mom.
So pick a target. Who in Volkill would you like to see removed, excluding the head tax collector, the head guard, and the Baron?
Besides a pompous prick who stiffed me of my well-earned tips for a show I did, I don't have any names.
You don't need a name. You just need a drive, a potential target that we can either scope out, and maybe it might even fall in this line with other people. But the idea is to give each of us a purpose to move forward whenever we go to this place, so we have our own motivations. Killing the Baron is not going to be enough.
Well, maybe we can find another one of the scientists or something. Blood workers that...
One of those from Nelduin that
Yes.
you encountered.
Yeah. Someone from Nebelstadt who might know what's going on.
Yeah, then ones with the metal masks, like mine.
We have to consider most of these places, especially places like Volkill, are not a serpent. They are a hydra. There are multiple heads that we are going to have to sever and cauterize.
Perfect.
So, that's it.
I've heard the best way to kill a Hydra is just to crush all the heads at once, you know? 'Cause, you know, they got the whole, you take one out, two more come in. You take one out, two more come in, you know? Kind of really defeating yourself there unless you just, you know, kill them all at once, you know?
Maybe they might be throwing a party, a banquet. We just have or a wedding. We can show up as unintended crashers, and they're all there.
I thought the way you killed the Hydra was to get it from the inside out.
Okay, you're thinking very deeply into this.
Hey Justin,
This-
did Abraham overhear any like stories in like on the streets or in the bars that he visited regarding hydras?
Probably not on this continent. They're not too common here.
Okay. I figured that's why there might be stories. So it could be like completely
Fair.
wrong.
Samira's point of reference is the movie Hercules.
Yeah.
Play.
Just multi-headed.
the live play Hercules.
Multi-headed
newly
creatures hard.
staged.
Multi-headed creatures hard to take out. Yeah, you cut off one head, more sprout up. There are certain weapons that can do it.
Granted, we are using a Hydra as a metaphor.
Yeah. So I don't really know what to
Yeah.
do here.
Right, so I heard a story that because it's a hydra, you get one side to chase after a person and the other side to chase after the other person, and it splits them in half and you're done. That's what I heard.
Doesn't that just make two Hydras?
Okay,
No,
the intention to this story was that we
Yeah.
need to remove. It's a multi-headed serpent.
Well,
Heads do not grow back.
I assume
So
this
is it more of a chimera
I've
than
been
a Hydra?
I've been assuming this has been a walk and talk through the forest.
Yeah.
Yes.
Speaking of hearing things,
Oh no.
you all
Good.
hear what
Not
sound.
again.
You all hear what sounds like anguished screaming. The only one who doesn't hear it is Abraham,
Oh, dang.
as you all hear it in
Too
your
busy thinking
heads.
about how to
No,
kill a Hydra.
You all hear it in your heads. Just anguished screaming from all around.
Everybody hear that?
Of course.
I
What the
don't hear
fuck was
nothing.
that?
What,
It's
you
a
talking about
scream.
this wind?
Crearyn's going to focus and is going to use their divine sense.
What does that detect?
That's a good question. Let me Google. 60-foot celestial fiend or undead.
Nope.
their eyes. Crearyn's eyes kind of flare a bit. There's been a lot of like green and like foliage base, so like emerald colors, but
Yeah.
like from the solid portions as our eyes flare with the divine sense go the green, but at the edges there's this like wispy black, almost like smoke.
I will say, as you've been walking, you can see little bits of greenery popping up through the snow. Not a lot, but occasionally you sprout like a little sprout kind of sticking up through the snow.
Oh, what's going on?
But you do hear, but then again, the rest of you, except for Abram, hear another anguished yell in your heads.
Yeah, Abraham just sees everybody kind of stop in their tracks. And he's just like, yeah, what's going on?
The words are of a language you don't understand at all. It just sounds like harsh syllables. Like, it just sounds like gurgling, but anguished
Realms?
screaming in your heads.
Did we see anything?
Uh,
A source, maybe?
Up ahead.
In the tree?
Something does catch your eyes a little bit. I'll have everybody make perception checks, though, just to... Abe, you can kind of see everybody kind of like focusing on something.
Yeah.
So everybody can
First
make perception
roll of
checks.
the night.
Yeah,
Look for something unusual.
first roll of the night, you know.
Yeah. Fancy shit.
Oh, well,
Checks
a
out
few of those are
for
bad.
Abraham. Checks out
Oh,
for
no.
Abraham. Nat 1.
Oh no.
Tero got a 7.
Where's
plus
Druck when
something?
you need him?
8 plus 4 for Tero for 12. Would anybody get above a 12?
13.
Okay. Scooch, in the distance, about 150 feet away, or 120 feet away, you see the outline of a purple-skinned humanoid lashed to a trail marker, and they are screaming. But the screaming is all in your heads. You just see the flailing of arms. You don't see the full like figure, but from the arms that you do see flailing out in agony, the physical structure is very similar to one you walk beside currently. A mind flayer is lashed to a trail marker up ahead.
Sorry, I also forgot to say, DM, I got rid of my tankard, and I got my boy Errol back.
Perfect.
with
Cool.
So, hey y'all, there's mind what's it up there.
You can see that far? Oh my.
You know, I
Alright.
believe in the.
It's just
You
it's
sure?
flailing and it's like shouting in your heads. You all can hear it. Again, Abe doesn't, but just it's gonna
Saying some weird things.
Yeah, I think your maybe your ring is maybe blocking you or something.
Yeah, ring's staying on.
I'm not saying to take it off. I'm saying
Right.
we'll be
Something.
Right, yeah. That's what would happen. I don't know. I'm not gonna add it to my whitelist. My safe list.
Don't do it. No, we're gonna fuck up
Not
there.
yet. Maybe we can get it to write something.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get closer.
Sprung up right.
as you all get close. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Watch your minds. All right. Watch your minds. Be ready.
I'm gonna cast protection from evil and good on myself.
Sure. As you get closer, you can see a mind flayer lashed to one of the trail markers, similar to the previous one you saw. This one is still alive, unlike the previous one. The previous one you saw, 2 weeks ago, was dead.
What's it bound to the tree with? What is
It's like the trail marker it's bound to. It's like bound with rope, spiked chains, and
Okay.
then it is basically someone took iron stakes and nailed it through its wrists and ankles to prevent it from getting off. So it's kind of like flailing around, and the flailing you saw is one of its arms pulling through the stake and
Ugh.
getting free. and it's wearing like this. Well, actually, it'd be bare because anything lashed to these things rendered nude essentially, and just splashed with cold water. And it sees you all kind of approaching.
Abraham takes off his mask. And can you tell which one this is?
This is one you don't really recognize.
Hmm.
And it stops kind of thrashing and just stares at you all. Tilts its head a little bit. And attempts to speak a language it does not quite understand telepathically. Do you serve?
Who?
We serve only ourselves.
That one points to Abraham. Can't peek in.
It's asking if you serve, Abe.
Can't peek in. Blocked.
Right. And Abraham goes, cut off. Off. And before he does that, though, he's going to, before he reveals his hands, he's going to use an action to make the ring invisible.
Okay.
While you're doing that, I'm going to. It's snow on the ground in front of us, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to approximately make shapes where we're standing.
Mm-hmm.
Then around where Abe's is, I'm drawing a circle,
Okay.
sort of showing like there's a force field, so it understands that Abe is kind of off limits.
Oh, that, like, I'm not keeping you guys as slaves?
Making
Yeah.
a natural 20 for its investigation check for a 27.
Nice.
Jeez.
So it was like if
As you like doing these symbols, that's what it's like. To decipher those symbols is what that roll was for.
Oh.
Abraham is going to...
it would be kind of like this. It'd be kind of like
Okay. Oh, okay, cool. Okay.
there's
Yeah.
just like pointing to the circle, and pointing to him.
Okay. Mind flayers are incredibly intelligent, so yeah, they could easily
I see.
Yeah, so
pick
and
that
then
up.
Just do it, and also repeating Abraham's.
Free. Free.
What's he saying?
He said free, man.
Abraham will nod, and he'll
Free.
he'll take just a page of parchment and one of his sketching pencils and hold it up to this guy. You got something to say? I know it's not as comfortable as the mind, because he can talk to him, but it can't talk to him back.
Yeah. It's gonna.
Hey man, actually, could you maybe we can mend his hand, because he's looking really fucked up, and holding a pencil I think is gonna be difficult.
Can we get him off this thing?
Listen, you don't know this mind flayer, or you don't know. I don't know this mind flayer, and I don't know, and you don't know this elder brain.
Okay.
It's very possible that the elder brain is getting to us through this one. It's also possible it's not. I'm a little paranoid about this, so we have to be careful.
Okay.
So
Then
he
it's your play. We'll back you.
puts the thing up there, gives him the pencil. If you got something to say to me, say it.
We need to translate this for you. Do we need to tell him that? You understand you right now?
Oh, it can hear me.
Oh.
I just can't hear it. I blocked it off.
Got it.
It doesn't write, it draws.
Okay.
It draws tunnels. It draws other mind flayers. The mind flayers are climbing up, out. It draws a palace. It draws mind flayers scouting the surface. It draws mind flayers going back down the tunnels and communing with a brain. The last image it draws is the Elder Brain becoming one with the Rime King. To spread its influence everywhere. No longer locked to subterranean tunnels, no longer locked to the depths, no longer locked to darkness, no longer locked to this easily destroyed, well, not easily destroyed, but this soft, weak form, and instead become one with this powerful, godlike form. That's what it draws.
Wait, did you escape? Or, like, did you leave its range? Or are you just trying to achieve one of its goals?
It continues to draw. It draws this bleak building in the mountains, surrounded by ocean. It draws a mind flayer sitting in a chair, strapped to a chair, while other mind flayers stick something in its head, like hollow pins, almost large silver hollow pins. They stick it in the mind flayer's head. Draws what can be best described as like neurons, like neural pathways in the brain. And it's doing its best to illustrate what it looks like to be constantly under scrutiny, constantly viewed. And it's like the neurons in this thing's brain are like intertwined with like other connections. And in its drawings, these hollow silver needles are severing those connections. Sort of similar to like lobotomy. And the mind flayer it's drawing looks, I mean, it's hard to differentiate mind flayers from one another, just based because they all are the same genetic makeup from the tadpoles and everything.
Yeah. I mean, mostly you're looking for scars and like what they decide to wear.
And as it finishes the drawing, it points to the same kind of puncture wounds that have healed across its head.
We'll look at Abe's head.
Abe doesn't have those marks.
Okay.
Right, let's get this one warm. Somehow. It's gonna be rough.
You sure?
Not completely, but I think we can handle it. I think.
I'm gonna start with my gauntlets, my metal gauntlet. I'm gonna start like trying to like I'm gonna take the dagger and begin to try to cut some of the ropes.
Okay. Easily done. There's still got like the spike chains tying it to the marker as well, and then it is still like staked through one arm and through its feet still.
Thinking back, can I recall that there were also punctures in the other one that we found? And maybe I just overlooked them?
That one did not have punctures.
Okay. It was just found by the wrong people.
Yeah.
Got it.
I'm gonna attempt to get a campfire going.
Yeah, easily done.
Okay.
I assume you all work to get this guy free? Yes, no?
I'm gonna put 5 points of healing, lay on hands.
Alright.
To them.
As they're freed from the trail marker, they get immediately down by the fire and start warming themselves up.
Against his better judgment, but yeah, whatever. He's just like, don't let me regret this. He's gonna take one of the brains that he has and give it to him.
Looks at the brain and shakes his head.
What you mean?
Vegetarian or something?
I don't.
It looks like you were confused with the vegetarian, and it still has like the paper it's been drawing on.
They don't eat. They only eat plants. In your case, probably just regular food.
Yeah, I don't know.
It draws. Are you specifically handing it like a humanoid brain? Is what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. It goes like it shakes its head, and then draws like a squirrel, a deer.
Okay.
And then drawings of it eating those things.
Right. Yeah. Can I tell now that it's a little like it's not producing as much mucus that
is not malnourished whatsoever.
Oh.
It is perfectly fine, aside from it being freezing cold and injured.
Okay. Abraham being perplexed a little. Oh, I don't know what this means.
It writes in Qualith, the actual language of the Illithid.
Nice.
On the paper, I am Vorzeth, Vorzeth.
Vorzeth.
Yeah, Vorzeth. I am of the Severed.
Severed.
And then when he writes out the Severed, he gestures to the puncture wounds in his head again that have healed.
Alright.
And again, goes back to warming his hands. Or their hands.
This person's nudie, like doesn't have any clothes.
Mind flayers are like Ken dolls, yeah, so just
Okay.
completely.
So
now you know.
Crearyn's gonna give them
Well, you're
their cloak.
Hold on. I'm trying to remember how. No, yeah, mind flayers don't reproduce, so they just.
Ken dolls, yeah. You're right. Gonna give the cloak though that Crearyn typically wears.
Okay.
To drape it over their shoulders.
And they're just kind of in the snow, warming their hands up. They hand the paper and everything back to Abraham.
I'm speechless. I'd never heard of this before.
Yeah, they do like this massive, ominous, derelict, abandoned-looking, massive structure somewhere in the mountains, surrounded by freezing cold ocean.
Where do you think this is? Is this up north? And Abraham.
Look at our map. There's a few places it could potentially be. Right? Only a few islands around here.
Yeah. Abraham's just gonna pull out their map.
Yeah.
and just ask him. He'll point to the part on his parchment, and then
Yeah.
tell him to point on the map.
He looks at the map. He gives us. Studies the map quickly. Doesn't take long, and it points one of its long fingers to Anagar Asylum, to the very southeast,
Oh,
near Darkwater Port.
Oh wow, Abraham's having some intuition there.
What are the odds?
that's wild.
Points to that, and then again points to the wounds, the healed, punctured wounds on its head. The wounds are like in a perfectly circular pattern around the head.
Abraham will just go in for like a hand, like one of these.
Yeah,
You're mental. I can't believe you done this. And yeah,
he, as you go for that, he like starts examining your head and like puts his hands on it and starts like prodding it and like moving your head around to see if you're also like.
all right, yeah. I don't know if I want to reveal the ring yet.
In,
It's a really good story.
in an unintentional, mocking way, Errol starts examining Penny's head.
Looking for bugs.
He knows.
Abraham will kind of do bit of a white lie,
Mm-hmm.
and point to like some of the symbols he's painted on himself,
Mm-hmm.
and imply, and then tap his head as if he's using some type of totem or other means to guard his mind.
Okay. You can see a sense of curiosity in Vorzeth here, and he looks at the symbols you have on you, looks at what you're wearing, looks at the others. Kind of traces a symbol in the air, all like erratically, and casts Detect Magic.
Oh,
Kind of looks at everybody,
Yeah.
and then he kind of gestures.
fear
to,
goes up instinctively as they're casting. Not sure what
It's
this
not like
means.
it doesn't look hostile. He's just like doing like
Yeah,
hand signs like
Abraham's
this.
Abraham's gonna throw up a hand because he kind
Okay.
of
Like he's
has
tracing
an idea
like
of
this.
what
He's tracing
doing,
the
but
air.
he doesn't. Abraham doesn't know like how that spell works, but he's getting a passive vibe from it, so he puts his hand up.
And as he like finishes tracing, or they finish tracing the air, a little like kind of tendrils, kind of not like tendrils, but like connections, neural pathways almost, kind of stretch out from this thing to where it can kind of sense the magic around it, and it kind of focuses on where the invisible ring would be on Abraham. Again, it just reveals that it is magical. Or
Yeah, yeah.
Possible school of magic affecting
yeah.
it. So it'd be like divination, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Looks at that. Looks at the rest of you.
They're vulnerable, right?
Wait, what? Who's that for?
Uh, uh,
Vorzeth?
Vorzeth.
Okay.
He says they're vulnerable and kind of gestures to his group. Do you know the range of control that this has?
It nods, and
He'll pull out the map.
it draws like it draws nothing like elaborate on the map,
Okay.
but what it draws, which I'm adding now to your map.
Okay.
Well, I will add it once I describe it. It adds these like What's the best word to describe it? Just points. It puts like little points. Like 3 points. On the map.
Like a small network.
Yeah. 3 points. Which I'm gonna do. And what color should I do these in? Purple?
Mind Flayer purple.
Yeah. Yeah, purple. The first, it puts in near the capital of Ormerheim, where the Rime King is. His rules. Puts one that roughly around there. Puts another one. What you would essentially, well, not what you essentially, but what you call the capital of the province of Veld, Nebelstadt. Puts one roughly around there.
Okay.
And the final one it puts on the map is one in Volkill.
Shit.
So that, could we assume that?
And I'm not going to draw this.
triangulate-
I'm not going to draw this on the map because it'll obscure a lot of it. But then it draws a triangle connecting the symbols.
Mm-hmm.
So it's triangulating that. Is okay. This is gonna be. I know it's gonna be a lot, so I'm just gonna like. Here. Can we? Abraham,
Yeah.
is the brain centralized? Does it require like a central location, or can it be weighted one way or another with it like extending out like a cone effect?
I
Or
mean, as far as I knew, it had like 2 or 3 mile radius, but that was in the Underdark. I don't know what it has available to it now. I mean, look at this drawing. I don't know what any number of these things. I don't know.
well, if there's a
I don't think that they
triangulation,
would make another Elder Brain, but maybe there's some. The blood. It's the blood. It's the blood.
okay. Bear with
They
me
have
here. Let me
More
do something. Oops.
factories like they did at Kaltoric Manor in these locations.
I'm saying they may have made more Elder Brains and keep them controlled through the blood. Either that or they're creating some type of mental.
Like the brain we just fought in the manor.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Look, y'all. This is our triangulation, right? I'll
Yeah.
delete this later in a second, Justin.
Yeah, no worries.
We can ascertain. What if it's like located here? What if this is the Cold Split Mountains? I mean, we can potentially come up with a location of where it's located, and if
Yeah, let's mark it down, but we should keep our eyes open for anything when we get to Volkill.
Do you guys want me to add something there? Potential Elder Brain location?
yeah, Cold Split, yeah, Elder
Yeah.
Brain location.
Okay.
Trying to see if there was like a city or something, but there's really not.
Nope,
that.
nothing in there. The closest one would be Blue-True.
Area? like
Blue-True would be the closest.
Yeah.
oh, Bluetooth.
Think
Oh,
some
so
of Blowhouse.
Blue-True. Oh, and look, it's right by that Dragon Gate and Chalice Reach, too.
Oh,
how funny
goodness.
these things
How
kind of all fall
crazy!
together.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
It's like the DM planned
You guys
this
are
or something.
crazy.
Crazy.
You guys are crazy.
I also don't like how close Pale Moon Village is to Nebelstadt now.
Hey man, it's all just falling in place, you know.
Oh yeah.
Potential
It's all
elder
coming
brain fun
together.
spot. Oh yeah.
You know, now that we're getting
It's all
out of
coming together.
now that we're getting out of the first arc here for a little bit, now we
Yeah.
can. But
Oh boy.
as this Mind Flayer draws this on your map, basically making a huge triangle, drawing that they may have had some sort of procedure done at Anagar Asylum that severed their connection. That's where we're going to end the session for the week.
Yep.
Wow. Oof. Wow.
Can Abe permanently be free of his elder brain?
And we have new allies
Find out next
potentially.
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah,
allies,
How,
yeah.
ooh. I
let's
wonder
go.
how much of its mental abilities it has. I wonder what it sacrifices for that.
Yeah.
Vorzeth of the
Oh.
Severed. Perhaps allies could be found at the asylum. Who knows?
Yeah.
A lot to do now. You have multiple
Yeah.
potential places to head now. But until then, goodbye, everybody. Good night.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Bye.